Good day, YouTube. Today's video is called the financial mob mentality. I'll explain what I mean by that. Mob can be a lot of people, or it could be one person, in the sense that the financial mob mentality, I've been making a lot of observations, sometimes within myself, sometimes within others. And I like to see what I think works and what doesn't, and then share that with you. This is definitely a financial video, which I haven't done in a while. My favorite topic overall is about finances. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of observations lately, just living life. And they're not that big of a deal. My intention with this video is not to make someone look bad, but it's the opposite of that, is to share my thoughts with you and see what you like, what you don't like, use what you want, and disregard what you don't like as far as my opinion or advice. But I love to observe people, and I can tell you that I learned financial peace and financial mistakes through the School of Hard Knocks. On top of that, in the Air Force, they trained me to become a financial counselor in 2009, and I am no longer an accredited financial counselor. I went to a store, this is my first observation, 2 weeks ago, with a family member who was visiting us, my aunt, and we went to a store. I'm not going to tell you the name of the store. I'm sure you can figure something out. You need a membership to go into this store, and they sell in bulk. And the reason we had to go there was because she has a membership, and she said, you can find whatever you need there. I said, okay, let's do it. I'm not a good shopper. I don't like shopping, with the exception of thrift shops. I love thrift shops, but this wasn't a thrift shop. So we go in there, and the parking lot is full. Luckily, I found a parking space because I saw a car leave, got in there, got a cart. As we're going in, I realized there are a lot of people. It's a Saturday. I'll never go to this place again, especially on a Saturday, or hopefully ever. And the carts are a little bit wider. You go in there, you're doing your shopping, you want a television, you can get a television, you want clothing, you want food, bulk. A friend of mine was leaving our unit in the Air Force, so I had to get hamburgers, hot dogs, buns, side dishes, just things like that. It was insane, to the point where I never want to go to this place again. It was very difficult for me to drive the cart because there's just so many people there. If you go to a restaurant, you're going to see people eat. That's what people do, obviously, correct? Now, at this place, they give out free samples, and everywhere you looked, people were eating. Everywhere. It was crazy. I don't even like using the word everywhere because that's saying 100%. And that's just the way it was. Everybody's eating. You can't walk. That mob mentality. I realized bulk is good for certain occasions. For my wife and I, we're empty nesters. We don't need bulk. I wanted to get what I needed there. And I found some of the things that I needed. And then I had to go to another store, which was just a regular store, to finalize the last things. But here's the thing. That mob mentality is, they have a membership, so we should have a membership to this place. I don't know how much it costs a year. But do you really need bulk everything? Sometimes the answer is yes. Maybe it's for a business. Sometimes the answer is no. In our case, it's only 2 people. So that was my first observation, that mob mentality. It's like, it's free, let's go. The other example that I can give related to this first observation is on Veterans Day, restaurants in a military community like to give a free dinner or a free lunch or a free breakfast to a service member. While I think that's a great gesture, I won't go to these businesses that day because it's going to be packed. You're going to have to wait an hour or 2 or 3 just to get a free meal. And I don't want to do that. That's just something that doesn't interest me. I'll go the day before, the day after, even if I have to pay for my meal. Observation number 2 of the mob financial mentality is, do you get the latest and greatest every single year of something, whatever that could be? I'll stick to something simple that maybe we can relate to, and that is a cell phone. I've had my cell phone for about 2 years, and it works great. I don't have any intention of upgrading to the 2017 version or 2018 version unless I break or lose my phone. But are you an individual that has to have the latest and greatest version? With the cell phone, that example, they go for about $600 to $700 each. These smartphones, $600 to $700 for a phone. To me, that's a lot. Yes, I have one as well, but like I said, I'm going to keep that until it just goes out, because for me, I don't have to have the latest and greatest. There's nothing wrong if the answer is yes, we or you have to get the latest and greatest every single year. In some cases, and in some cases, yes, it's wrong. For example, if you're broke, but you have the newest phone when it comes out, whether it's once a year or every 2 years, but you're broke, in my opinion, like I said, that school of hard knocks is, I'm not interested. I don't have to do that, or nor do I want to do that. Now, if you have money and you're good and you're successful and you're doing and you're investing and saving and you have no debt, things like that, there's nothing wrong. Now, of course, this is just my opinion. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just my view. The next thing is observation number 3, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. Again, I want to say that my intention of this video is to hopefully reach out to a very young individual. He or she says, hey, you know what? Let me learn from this guy talking about his experiences or his observations or what he has seen or what he's sharing. Because when I was young, I had that financial mob mentality as well. Been there, done that, like I said. When I was 17 years old, what I was taught is you get a brand new car and you have a car payment and that's part of life. I've had one brand new car in my life. I paid for it. I was 17 years old, so young that it wasn't even financed under my name. It was financed under a friend's name. 5 years, that's what I was taught. My mom said, nope, new car's the way to do it. It's going to be reliable. So between 17 and 22-ish, $219.31 for 5 years. That was back in 1989 through 1994, where $219 was a lot of money. Maybe it isn't now, but it was. Been there, done that, school of hard knocks. Observation number 3 is this. You've heard, I'm sure, the phrase, the idiom, keeping up with the Joneses. What does that mean? That means that whatever your peers are getting, whatever your neighbors are getting, we as individuals may feel obligated to keep up with the example, the name, the Joneses. Whatever they have, we should have too, because it's a status thing. And I don't know how many people do that. That has never been something that I've aspired to do, keep up with someone else. But I was reading an article and it said that 43% of people spend more than they earn. Now that is Americans. 43% of Americans spend more than they earn. And that may be a perfect example of these people may be trying to keep up with the Joneses. 2017 is this. Social media is big. YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, MySpace. I'm kidding about the MySpace. But it's what you see out there. It's what we see. These pictures of these people doing great things. But we don't know if it's just a facade. In other words, it's just a picture or a moment. But these people may or may not be in debt. I caution myself, I caution others to do things in life, live life. Yes, I like to spend money as well, but do it without getting in debt. Do it for the right reason. Do it where you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, that example. And I'm going to leave you with this. What is your foundation like? Your base. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about you as an individual, your foundation. Where are you and where do you want to go? And how are you going to get there? And what are your goals in life? And yes, sometimes it'll include finances. But if your foundation is solid, where you are a good person consistently, that's a solid foundation. And then you can build upon that, where if, hey, you want to take a vacation, you do it. Or you want to buy this or buy that, you do it. Hopefully do it wisely. Learn from others, just like here I am, where I still like to learn from people, both positives and both negatives as well, in the sense that I'm trying to see what works for this person and what doesn't. Because what works, I'm going to try to emulate and say, hey, I want to be like that person, whether you're young or old or somewhere in between. Or what doesn't work for others. That's just very important for me. I love to learn from watching people watching, observations, especially the areas that do not work for others. Hopefully this has been helpful, kind of long. My intentions are good, I know that. And it's one of those things that if you can learn from one thing from this video or one thing from watching somebody else, do it. At the same time, teach someone else whenever you can. Have a great day. Take care.